Have you ever watched a movie and questioned your own religion? Well, this may be that movie day. Today we watch Heretic. Hi, I'm Tremaine Hayhoe. Welcome back to Movie Day, the day where we talk about movies. By the way, this is spoiler free, so don't worry if you haven't seen the movie. I will not spoil anything. Heretic is written and directed by Scott Beck and Bryan, who most notably co-wrote A Quiet Place together and stars Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. Thatcher and East play Mormon missionaries Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton that go home to home and eventually go to the home of Mr. Reed, played by Hugh Grant. Where their intentions is to evangelize him to the Mormon religion, they end up being caught in a philosophically cruel game of cat and mouse. First, let's talk about the definition of heretic. Titus 3:10 says, a heretical person is one who follows his own self-willed questions and who is to be avoided. Heresies thus came to signify self-chosen doctrines not emanating from God. The film excels in the first two-thirds. The film is worth watching for Hugh Grant's acting alone. Seeing this charming 90s heartthrob movie star play an aged, albeit still charming, man that's extremely intelligent, well put together, but has gone so far down his own rabbit hole of doing gosh knows what in his hermit home, he ends up adopting some interesting beliefs that he instills on others. The Love Actually star seems to be thriving in this stage of his career, being able to choose a smaller and albeit creepier role that he normally gets cast in. This is a far cry from Paddington 2 or from playing an Oompa Loompa. The most interesting, intriguing, thought-provoking, and pretty funny part of the movie is when he compares religion to the game of Monopoly. And you're thinking, how the heck can a game of Monopoly be compared to religion? That's what I thought too, but you'll just have to see the movie to find out. By the way, subscribers that are new here, welcome. My name's Tremaine Hayhoe. I made a movie called SiMP that got a lot of new subscribers. I'm the director of that movie, writer, director, producer. We had amazing actors and talent for that film. And I also like to talk about movies. So if you guys love movies, stick around. This film excels in the direct dialogue between the three characters. When you're just in the living room and Hugh Grant is talking with the two girls and he's very cordial, he's very nice, and he's asking them simple questions. He's also trying to catch them off guard by mispronouncing a few of the names of their religion. And the guy seems to be one of those well-studied men who hasn't really chosen a religion, but has studied a bunch of them in order to see which one fits him the best. It's one of those movies where you go along with it. There's all the red flags in the world of saying these girls should not go into this home of this man, but he seems to be very cordial, he seems to be very nice. And maybe you would go inside, and that's their job, to evangelize. And he says that his wife is there, and a lot of people take people's word at face value. And it's so easy to say, oh, well, I would never go in that guy's house. He's too creepy. I would never do that. And actually, the way they do it was pretty spot on, because I could see them still going inside. And even though they had some hesitations, he seems to have his guard down. He doesn't seem threatening. He doesn't look like a monster, aside from those glasses. I don't know what it is with the glasses these days. About 4 years ago, it became popular to wear those glasses again. Those glasses do not make anyone look good. The film excels in its dialogue and the back and forth, and it's a psychological thriller, so it really gets you thinking. It makes you think about certain things. I'm a man of religion. I'm of Catholic faith, and there's always questions that anyone has, no matter what religion you have, and he's the one who seemed to be diving down the deep, dark rabbit holes of asking these questions, trying to find the answers, trying to figure out which religion came from where and which is the right one. And then also, he's well studied, he was well versed, he brings up all these different things, and it kind of catches the two younger girl Mormon missionaries a little bit off guard, because even though they are pretty well studied, well versed, he's done deeper, darker studies. I watched another review on this by Jeremy Johns, and he kind of put it in a way that it's like one of those people on Facebook that it seems like they're a nice person, or it's like a friend or of something, or an uncle or something like that. And you see what they post and you're kind of like, oh wow, this is like really interesting and really thought-provoking and intriguing. And then you kind of go deep, dark down the rabbit hole. You realize this person is going way far down left field and is probably not the right person to hear sources from, and has kind of a warped sense of the world and is trying to prove some type of weird, twisted, manipulative point. So the whole time I was on the edge of my seat watching this. So where is this going? Where is this going? Where is this going? It's really well laid out. It's acted well. The three main actors do a brilliant job. Hugh Grant does a fantastic job. I must say, say the movie's worth watching alone for Hugh Grant's acting. Even in certain circumstances that should be a lot heightened, like when they try to leave. He's so unassuming, he's not begging them to stay, but he doesn't tie him up, he's not poisoning them, he's not doing anything that is really nefarious other than a lot of other red flags that end up happening later on, which I won't say. But where the main flaw of this movie is the last third, where it's on this trajectory of like, oh my gosh, the climax, this is gonna go crazy, it's gonna be epic, it's so awesome, and built up this whole story, the dialogue, the characters, you're invested, what's going on, even questioning some of your own reality. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this true, what he's saying? And then it goes so off the rails where it's like, damn it, I was so disappointed with the last third of it, and I'm not spoiling it, but it just loses that momentum. Where certain horror movies where you buy, okay, let's accept the fact that the girls go into the house, even if most people say, oh, I would never go in that house. Okay, let's just say they do go in the house. And then they go along with what they're saying. There's so many other things that happen where it's like, okay, well, even if you're giving everyone every single benefit of the doubt, the trajectory that it goes, and it goes so off into left field that it completely lost me. Overall though, it's definitely worth watching. It's worth streaming. It's worth talking with a friend. I went with one of my best friends, Chris. We went and saw this movie. We had a really good time with it. There were a few interesting parts in the movie where they talk about prayer. They talk about the power of prayer. And then they did some study where they say, oh, prayer actually doesn't work, which is not true because they've done studies that have proven otherwise. Now, that's a whole different discussion of a whole nother video, and I'm not gonna try to get into the deep depths of every single religion here. I'm not gonna go there. One of their most popular movies that this co-writing and co-directing team wrote was A Quiet Place, which again, for me, it's a very interesting concept, but the movie is so far out in left field and so on the deep end. There's too many things that are so stupid. The Quiet Place, I'm not here to compare, but now that I'm here, this movie is way better than A Quiet Place. I personally did not like A Quiet Place. I thought it was the dumbest movie ever. Once you think anything through, it's the dumbest movie ever. At any rate, if you're interested in me talking about A Quiet Place, maybe I'll make a video about that. Maybe I'll make a rant about it. But we're here to talk about Heretic. Heretic is well executed, well written, but it suffers in the third act. Overall, Heretic is definitely worth watching at home with some drinks. Click that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm gonna have a lot more movie reviews on our way. And by the way, I'm a movie director as well. We just came out with our movie called SiMP. You can watch that for free on my YouTube channel. It's about a model who gets kidnapped at a fake photo shoot based on true events. So you can click here to watch that movie. Let me know what you think of Heretic. Thank you so much to all the patrons on Patreon. If you guys wanna help make more movies and become an insider, go to patreon.com/HeyHoStudios. Till next time, we'll see you tomorrow. Heretic is written and directed by Scott Woods and Glenn Beck. Heretic is written and directed by Byron Scott and Scott Woods.